So the assassination attempt happens. Trump thankfully makes it out alive by the grace of God. I can't stress that enough that, he, I hate to say Tony Gump, he dodged a bullet, but he dodged a bullet. And he's such a boss. I mean, now he's known as a gangster. Like, you see, if you're on social media and you're on TikTok and stuff like that, you're seeing so many people in the black community that are coming out and they're like, oh, that's it. Like, I was already leaning Trump. I'm going Trump. But his reaction after all of this, everything's chaotic for a while. They're asking. By the way, he was set to go to the UFC fight, which was in Denver that night.
Oh yeah.
He almost still went, but they stopped him. He wanted to keep speaking after they shot him, but they have to at some point draw the line. Mr. President, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. But he said he was going to delay his trip to Milwaukee for the Republican National Convention. And he sent out a Truth Social. He's like, well, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going. So that's where he went yesterday, and he's been there ever since. Once he got there, the New York Post caught up with him, and they got to, I guess, an exclusive interview. They got to talk to him. And what he said, here's the article. Grateful and at times defiant Donald Trump told the Post Sunday he's supposed to be dead, as he recalled the harrowing moment of the would-be assassin shot at him at the campaign rally. He said it was a very surreal experience that nearly ended his life during an interview. The doctor at the hospital said he never saw anything like this. He called it a miracle. He said Trump, who was sporting a large, loose white bandage that covered his right ear. His staff insisted no photos be taken. That was him too. He was like, because he does not like to show weakness, and he feels. And I'm not saying anything that shows weakness, but he doesn't want to look as if he is injured or less tough than he normally has his persona. So whether it's an arm sling, a bandage on his ear, or a mask, he wants to seem fearless, and that is the traits of a leader. Like that, this is the mindset. It's not about being pompous or full of yourself. He wants to portray himself as a leader. He says, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be dead. Trump said, I'm supposed to be dead. He goes on and says, he said it was a very surreal experience. He said he would be if he had not. This is talking about being dead. He would be if he had not turned his head slightly to the right to read the chart on illegal immigrants. So I guess we can give props to illegal immigrants for having a role in saving Trump's life.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, illegal immigrants. At that instance, what would have been a kill shot tore off a small piece of his ear and splattered blood on his forehead and cheek. Trump said that Secret Service agents led him off stage. He still wanted to continue speaking to supporters, but the agents told him it wasn't safe and that they had to get him to the hospital. He marveled at how the agents came flying in like linebackers as soon as the shooting started, and he unbuttoned his long-sleeve white shirt to show a large bruise on his forearm. Oh. He showed it to the people of the Post. It said he also cleared up a mystery about his shoes. On the video of the shooting aftermath, as the burly agents tried to rush him off stage, he was heard saying, wait, I want to get my shoes. As he explained in the interview, the agents hit me so hard that my shoes fell off and my shoes are tight. He commended the Secret Service personnel for their heroic actions and praised them for gunning down the shooter, who was perched 130 yards away, which is another problem, but that's for another day. These photos, man, are absolutely wild. They took him out with one shot right between the eyes, said Trump. They did a fantastic job. It's surreal for all of us. He also addressed the incredible photo of him raising his fist and saying fight 3 times as the agents led him off stage. He said a lot of people say that it's the most iconic photo they've seen. They're right, and I didn't die. Usually you have to die to have an iconic picture.
Gosh.
He said, I just wanted to keep speaking, but I got shot. So that's Trump. That's what's crazy is like, this is the epitome of Donald Trump. He gets shot. He wants to stay on stage. He wants to keep speaking to the people. He said something along the lines of by luck or by God. Many people are saying it's by God I'm still here, and I think he believes that. He made another comment. He said that he said I love these people. He said the fact that there wasn't a mad dash out of there when gunshots rang out, that everybody stayed. They just ducked down and they're like, hey, Trump's our guy and we're riding it out with him. Like, that says a lot about our people, And I've been to these Trump rallies. As a matter of fact, where these people were killed and injured, me and my family were sitting in those same bleachers, in those same areas where these people were hit. Obviously, it was in a different town, a different state, and a different year. But that was one of the first things Trish and I talked about. She was like, that's where we were sitting when we went to the Trump rally. Because those areas are reserved for family and friends of people that are connected with the campaign or with security or whatever. So you got to know somebody to be sitting up there. And it was, just to watch those people sit there and wait because they needed to see if their president was okay was huge. And because they view him as a human being. They view him as a good person, a dad, a husband, a guy that loves America, who is a very successful human being, but just happens to take all that fame and fortune and give it back to the country. Now, you can't say that about everybody. The media, Hollywood, has brainwashed people to the point that even after a tragic event like this, they will get on the internet and talk about how they wish it would have gone differently. Here's one of the TikToks of some Looney Tune kid who might be the next shooter. Who knows? He looks like it.
How do you miss that? We don't miss those. Come on, man. Fuck. We don't miss those. One shot at greatness to be mentioned in the history books. And you missed the shot? Fuck. What fucking shit? How do you...
God. These people, man, these are deranged individuals, and there's more. It's just there's an endless supply of these, and I don't want to sit here and go through them all, but just so you understand what I think these people personally are mentally ill. I think I'm not a doctor, but I think it's pretty easy to diagnose these people.
Agreed.
But they've been enabled by a media and by a society that has brainwashed them into thinking that Trump actually is Hitler. And you think about it, if Hitler, if you're back in the 1940s and Hitler's running around and you hear that there was an assassination attempt on Hitler, most of us will be like, well, yeah, that's awesome. Hitler's killing millions of Jews. But Donald Trump's not killing millions of Jews. He's just making America great again. And these people can't seem to piece that together. Here's some more.
John Wilkes Booth, if you can hear us, if you are with us, please, John Wilkes Booth, if you're listening, please.
Let me get this straight. Dumbass! You have a fully reloaded shotgun, but you chose to use a one bullet.
We're not even sending our best to fucking assassinate. Cause what the hell was that? Lee Harvey Oswald would never, bitch. John Wilkes Booth would never.
Today was like this close to being the best day ever.
Oh my God.
Also, the person that at Trump at his rally was exercising that right that all of those Republicans were fighting for. So, can you really blame him?
These people, man. God.
They all just look mentally ill and they're deranged and they're getting their morning cup of joe every morning or something.
It's almost, you can look at certain people and say, when they're at home by themselves, in a quiet room, these these are some of the most miserable people on earth. Yeah, I often caution, like when you see people on social media and they're constantly making their life seem wonderful and grand, those are usually the most unhappy people behind the scenes. But these people, to be able to spew that hatred on social media like that, and for that to be one of the most important things in their lives, like, you seriously need to be checked out, because guess what? That shooter, I mean, depending on what happened, is somebody that was so freaked out by the idea that Donald Trump was Hitler, he did what he did. And so how long, why are we not concerned that these people will do the same thing? And they're just following the lead, whether it's the media. There was a Jack Black. Everybody knows Jack Black. Used to love that guy. Tenacious D, funny stuff, funny movies. Jack Black was with his band just the other night, I guess last night. And I don't know if it's Jack Black's birthday or whatever, but they brought him a cake or whatever. They were singing happy birthday. Listen to what he says.
Don't miss Trump next time.
Oh, Jesus.
And actually, looking closely at that, it looks like Jack Black is on the stage, and that it was the other guy, the guy in the yellow, the other half of Tenacious D, right? Is that who that is?
Yeah, the other guy in Tenacious D.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
That's at least that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But still, Jack Black thought it was funny, so he must agree with it. But this is what we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen. These people are sick. Here's the good news, is that most Americans, when that happened, when an attempt on Donald Trump's life happened, it woke a lot of people up. A lot of people that have been sitting on the fence and thought, well, I don't want to catch any heat from my friends. I don't want to get into it. Donald Trump's too divisive for me. I'm gonna stay out of it, or I'm gonna quietly cast my vote for Joe Biden or write somebody in. There's a lot of minds that got changed, because at the end of the day, no matter what you think caused this or where this originated from, whether you think it was a lone wolf or a deep state ploy, a lot of people in this country have evolved to where they look back at what happened to Dr. King. They look back at what happened to JFK. And they believe, hey, there were some shenanigans. It's been so long ago, we kind of just brush it off, and it's just a fun conversation to have with our friends and family. But they think that. They believe that these days. And guess what? When they see it happen again, that's exactly what they say. Here we go again. Same thing that happened back then. We got a long road ahead of us. But hopefully, Donald Trump will be your next president. See you, cuz!